Welcome to this BVTV SpotCast, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now, this is number 3 in a trilogy of SpotCasts with my guest. We're continuing our stay in Australia and meeting the world's #1 authority of trust-based selling and the author of Unlock the Sales Game. Hello, Ari Galper.
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm sad this is the last one because I love Australia, but in some ways, the most exciting of the trilogy, as I'm hoping you'll give us the key, the real key to unlock our sales game. Let's chat about 3 key steps in selling and how you go about applying your thinking. Now, those 3 steps are finding prospects, getting in front of them, and converting them to customers. Can we have the key, please?
The key is that's the process, but you have to have trust embedded between each step of the process because they know the game. They know the call is going to be a sales call. They know the next step. So you have to basically disarm them in advance and let them know that you're not going to act the way they're probably used to other people acting. And a lot of this is about you letting your ideal prospects know that your goal is their goal. In fact, you operate as a trust-based firm. You're not going to chase them. You're not going to pursue them. You can actually tell them this. And that disarms people right away, and that lets them work with you. And this is the way you convert people much more effectively, by not pitching them your solution prematurely before they actually give you their problems.
Yeah. One problem I've sort of got about this is that the word trust is so abused, isn't it? If somebody says to me, trust me, well, that's when the time you think, I ain't going to trust you. How do you show that without, abusing the word?
Well, the way you position it is we're a trust-based firm. Then you explain what that means. What that means is we're not going to chase you. We're not going to persuade you. We're not going to try to convince you. We're only here to see if we're a fit or not. If we're not a fit, we disengage.
Yeah.
That's a huge relief to hear because they're so used to being pulled down a process where they're forced to say yes or no at the end.
Yeah. I mean, for the last 20 years, I've interviewed buyers, on film or, before video, that sort of type of thing there. And constantly, the price is never the most important thing. The most important thing to them is reliability. Well, That's back to trust, isn't it?
Correct. In essence, it's called certainty. When they feel certain about you, because here's the thing, your prospects don't really care about how you solve their problem. What they care about is if you're the one to solve it or not.
Yeah.
The whole time they're asking themselves, do I trust him? Do I trust him? Do I trust him? That's what they're asking themselves the whole time.
Yes, I'm totally with you that, and I see that very much from the interviews I've done, and it goes across in many cases. Do I trust them to do health and safety? Do I trust them to be environmentally friendly? Yeah, constantly it's in the back of the mind there. So are we saying then to make for the key that we're talking about here, that salespeople have got to change?
They have to shift their thinking, their mindset. They have to let go of their own goal of the sale and focus only on the client's problems. It's not about hearing, it's about listening. Listening is active, hearing is passive. You have to let go of your own agenda before you can be really honest and authentic with people for them to trust you.
Yeah. Do you think your approach makes the sale longer or faster?
Well, it just turns out I'm working on a new book next year coming out called The One Call Sale.
Wow.
How to compress the sales cycle from multiple steps to one conversation only.
Right.
So this shortens the sales cycle. And if you want to learn this, even to one call only, assuming it's a scheduled consultation with them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that, by the way, Ari. So we'll get that down. You'll be coming back, won't you, to tell me about it? Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Listen, so one of the things that I really like your approach, but if I go back to some of the times that I was kicked by a sales manager in the past because I hadn't oversold because there was a strategy at the time, that at
Right.
one time, if you oversell in, then the buyer will sell the stuff. And then, you say, well, you sold it all, so you need to overload them again. That's not trust, is it?
Right. No, we've been taught by the old managers to kind of push and presume and assume and present as much as we can. But those days are over, because the minute you do that, the client says to themselves, I'm sick and tired of the sales pressure from this person. I'm not going to engage with them. So you have to be aware of disarming, taking the pressure out of the process to avoid being rejected like that.
Yeah. My final point I want to make in this trilogy, Ari, to ask you a question, is that, this must be an approach that goes throughout the company, not just into sales, because if the salesperson's going to keep the promise, then
Yes.
operations, delivery, finance have all got to play their part, haven't they?
That's very astute of you, because a lot of our clients take this concept and make it their culture across their whole company. Trust, authenticity, problem solving, and not making assumptions.
Excellent. Yeah. Thanks, Ari. Now, let me remind our audience of your website address, your URL, which is, obviously, viewers, you can see it on the screen behind me, but for listeners, it's all the W's, unlockthegame.com, unlockthegame.com. Go there and get details of all the ways that Ari can help you be successful in selling, and especially about this exciting approach that he's talking about, trust-based. Ari's book is called Unlock the Sales Game, New Trust-Based Selling Strategies to Finally Create Your Sales Breakthrough. Now, I said in episode 2 of this trilogy that I regard selling as a noble profession. In this ever-competitive world, it is also a challenging job. Never forget that a salesperson is the front or image of a business, and everything a customer thinks about a business, its products, its services, its operations, accounts, and so on, emanates from that front person. Adopt Ari Galper's excellent trust-based selling concept, and you will ensure that your customer has the right perception of your company, and that means more orders and more referrals. Thanks, Ari, for your Unlock the Sales Games trilogy.
Thank you, Malcolm.